high. Hey, feel like I made it. Stacking my cheddar, know where I wanna be at. Feel like I'm famous. Every time you see me post, wait for react. They get the greatest. How you feel it when you see it all on they back? We could've made it, but you wouldn't disappear.
Yo, welcome to the WildKast podcast. It's Johnny Trumbone checking in with you live from the motherfucking studio right now. We're in South Florida, baby. Right now, we got our co-host to the right.
What up, Stick? How y'all doing?
StickDuffles in the building, man. Shout out Bearded Society. He couldn't be here right now. That boy out fixing choppers. Shout out Stick, man. He has to be in Fort Myers tonight, to be selling roofs. So if you know anybody in the Southwest Florida area who needs a roof, holla at StickDuffles again on Instagram. Holla at him. He can give you guys a nice quote and get your insurance to pay for your brand new roof if you've been affected by the hurricane that passed by there. Now, with that being said, man, we got a long-time friend over here. Great friend, great person right here.
Thank you.
My boy Cesar Prado.
Cesar Prado, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you guys giving me the chance to kind of speak on some important topics that really molded my life and, physically and mentally, and ask away any questions you guys might have. Definitely would be more than happy to answer them.
Yeah, that's
and the viewers, if you guys, I'll leave my link down there for my Instagram if you guys want to ask more questions, anything like that, any concerns or anything that you'd want to ask, for sure.
Yes, sir. Link will be posted in the description. You guys can connect with Cesar. Yes, sir. First question, though, I got to ask, man. The shorts, bro.
My shorts.
What was it, leg day, man? What's going on?
It was leg day. So basically, it's funny because, I do get asked, do you train better with them? And I do. Here's why. So whenever you go to the gym, I think that the better you look, the better you feel as far as that aspect goes. What do I mean, right? If you're going to the gym and you're completely covered from head to toe, which if that's what your comfort level is at right now, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly normal. As you gain confidence, which is kind of a key aspect of why a lot of people do go to the gym, you start to focus on, wow, man, this is looking good. This is looking good, and you want to push yourself even further. When you don't look like that in front of a mirror, you kind of don't it kind of puts you down mentally, and then your lift, your exercise, your workout routine won't be as good. So why do I wear my shorts? My shorts, I am a big advocate of leg day. A lot of guys, unfortunately, don't hit their legs, but I hit legs 3, sometimes even 4 times a week. Damn. So I do legs a lot. And when I did personal training, on the side, a lot more than I do now currently, a big marketing was my legs. A lot of people don't know how to train legs, especially guys. They usually go to the gym, biceps, curls get the girls, all that stuff. But I think the foundation for strength really does come from your legs. The most of your testosterone as men, they come from your legs. It is our biggest support system when we walk, when we run, when we lift. Everything, it comes from your legs. So the moment you start focusing on training your legs, everything else kind of falls into place. Why? Because you have that stability. It's your ground. You can build a castle, but with bad pillars, that castle is going to fall. So if you build the foundation correctly, you strengthen that part of your body, man, everything else will align perfectly. So when I go to the gym, man, I see my cuts right now, I'm shredding. Yeah. I was in a bulking phase, which means, people that don't know, it's basically you gain mass and then you diet on a different diet level, which is basically smaller intakes of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are basically your rice, your potatoes, anything like that. And just focus on protein, that way your body fat level goes down. So right now, that's kind of the phase I'm at. So I'm starving all the time now, but constantly eating as much protein and veggies as I can. So that's basically the.
So since now you're shredding, what's the meal plan that you're going with?
So basically, I do my meals every Sunday. I spend 4 to 5 hours cooking on Sundays. Everything I'm gonna eat throughout the day, because a big factor that a lot of people miss, and even myself, when I first started my fitness journey, I just did it in the fact that if I go to the gym every day, 3-4 hours a day even, and I lift as much as I can, I'm gonna look better. Because I was very, very big, chubby. I just did not like how I looked. So I said, hey, let me go to the gym, let me work out as much as possible, lift as much weight as I possibly can. and it'll fix itself. But in reality, 80% of progress in the gym is based off your diet. The moment I started changing my diet, the moment I stopped saying, hey, I'm going to just eat kind of like whatever comes my way, when I started to learn, I took my nutrition course, I'm a certified personal trainer. When I started doing that, you really learn that what you're feeding your body is basically what forms you to whatever goal is you're trying to. There's different goals. People have different goals. People want to look leaner. People want to look that are underweight. They want to get bigger. So whatever it is, the path that you're on, your diet has to go align with that, with that routine that you're trying to follow.
Yeah.
So what my diet consists of, basically a lot of protein. I have fish, salmon, tuna. I cook my salmon air fried. I have a lot of steak, lean steak.
So what did you eat today?
For example, today I woke up and I had 7 eggs.
7 eggs.
Yeah, 7 eggs, and 2 of them with yolk, and then 5 without yolk.
Yeah.
I had that with a piece of toast because I was gonna hit legs, so I had a whole grain toast. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Ezekiel bread. So Ezekiel bread and some avo spread on there.
What is that Ezekiel bread?
Ezekiel bread is like a bread that like basically contains a lot of like nutritional value compared to like regular white bread or just regular wheat bread that people buy. Because that contains a lot more sugar. People don't know this, but yes, bread does contain sugar. So, you kind of want to steer clear of sugars. No matter what path you want to be on, sugars is not it. Save that for like a cheat meal or something on the weekends. So I had that. I went to the gym. I hit legs. And right after that, you have to eat again. So then I had a shake with double scoop of protein in there. And then maybe 2 hours after that, I had a protein bar. And then maybe an hour after that, I had salmon with basmati brown rice. Now, us as Latinos, we love rice.
Yeah.
Like to tell a Latino, hey, you can't eat rice anymore is like a slap in the face. So we kind of still want to eat rice. So we got to figure out what rice we can have. And there's a lot of options.
Wild rice.
There's wild rice. There's brown rice,
What are those little balls?
Quinoa. There's cauliflower rice if you're really, really trying to lean out. Cauliflower. Anything cauliflower is good. Cauliflower wraps, cauliflower rice, cauliflower all up.
I'm about to post a cauliflower rice with
cauliflower.
With,
that's the key.
Ground turkey.
Yes.
Ground turkey.
Ground turkey, cauliflower
some
rice.
Bell peppers chopped
and some
in
veggies. Guys, you eat that every day, you're going to get sick of it. But I promise you, you will lean out and you're not going to lose muscle mass because you're still intaking the right amount of protein.
Yeah.
It's all about the portions. It's all about,
So you weigh out all your stuff?
Yes. I mean, at this point, I've been doing it for a few years. I kind of eyeball it at this point because I kind of already know what it looks like. Before, we had to I had to weigh everything out, making sure that the amounts are correct because you don't want to go over your calories because then you're doing the complete opposite of what you want to do.
That's true.
So I had that, and then I had.
Is that diet expensive? Is your diet expensive?
So it's not expensive. You know what's expensive? Expensive is not cooking at home and eating out, takeout, Uber Eats, all that stuff. That becomes expensive because if you think about it, if you're trying to do something for your physical health, after maybe 3-4 meals, if you're eating out, man, like let's say at cheapest, and we know like how inflation is going right now. Cheapest meal you're gonna get that'll fill you up is maybe $15, right? So let's say you want to eat 3 to 4 times, bro. That's $50-$60 right there alone in one day, bro. Monday through Friday at least, you eat 3-4 times a day, 3-4 meals. Your groceries, if you shop at Aldi, if you shop at Walmart, if you shop at Whole Foods, Fresh Food, obviously Whole Foods or Fresh Food. It's a little bit more expensive, but again, budget yourself, depending on your income. Honestly, man, like throughout the whole week, I maybe spend $120, $130 cooking everything for the Monday through Friday. You're saving so much money.
So much,
Yeah, and you can spend that and invest that into other things that you might want to do. Invest it into cryptocurrency, invest it in a house, if you're building something, a project, whatever it is. And no, it's a lot cheaper than people think. I just got deja vu, by the way. So, I don't know.
I wonder what's the meaning of deja vu. Like why does that happen?
I have a theory.
Does it say anything like that in the Bible? Does it talk about deja vu or anything?
So I don't think it talks about deja vu specifically, but I think we all are kind of living at a certain aspect this life
dream.
again.
Simulation.
Kind of like a simulation, I guess, you know. And I think deja vu is just kind of telling, hey, you're on the right path. Like, this is how your life is supposed to go. You remember doing this before because you've lived this. And if you're on this path, you're doing things correctly.
So deja vu could be bad too, though, right?
Yeah,
deja vu could be bad if you're making, you know.
This coming on this pod.
Coming on this podcast, man. No, I feel like we're on the right path because we're doing something today. We're talking about something that's going to help people's lives.
Yeah.
So I think this message of deja vu is, hey, man, you're supposed to be here talking about this.
So yeah, so if you did, so people out there, like, if they have deja vu, man, you may be on the right path, or you may be
check yourself
on the path of destruction.
Before you wreck yourself.
For sure, for sure. So the diet plan that you're going on is you're just shredding right now.
I'm shredding right now,
and it's cheap. It's not as expensive. It's less expensive going out. Bro, you go out anywhere in Los Olas right now, you're spending $1.
Like if me and you go out, today's Friday night, right? A lot of people do their cheat meals on Friday nights, which is fine. But let's say we want to save it for like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? And us three right now, we go out to eat at a restaurant. It doesn't even have to be a high class restaurant. We can go to like La Granja. For example, between us three, we're spending what, $40, $50, you know?
Yeah.
I could cook for us three, and that's like $20.
Yeah.
It adds up, man.
It does.
If you're a baller and you drive a Lambo,
by all means.
By all means, man. Have a personal chef at your home cook you if you're trying to reach.
Because Andrew Tate's he's like, I'm not putting stuff into boxes.
Yeah. He probably doesn't have time, you know?
He's got other things he's got to do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's got other things
Some people cook for personal reasons. It's like stress relieving.
Yeah, cooking is, for me is
fun.
Yeah, it's actually very stress relieving for sure.
Plus, when you cook, you put your
even the cleaning.
into the food.
Yeah.
And it's you that's cooking, so like you know that you're not putting anything that you don't want to put in there. You know. Like,
yeah. You're having a good time. You listen to music in the background. Just
man. Put on a podcast.
Exactly.
Put on something positive, man. What I've been trying to incorporate more day to day is some positive influence. I'm a big believer in God, and I feel like a word from Him really will change your mood.
For sure.
Especially if you're cooking, if you're having a good day, a bad day, it's always good to thank Him because I believe that every day, man, we're living in a miracle. Every day you are where you're supposed to be at, and you got to stop for a moment and be grateful for what you have.
Yeah.
Being blessed to be around family. Your family's good. They're here. We get to be in a nice studio, in a nice, apartment complex. And the sad part is, man, not a lot of people have that privilege to be here. Some people are going through it, man.
Yeah.
Some people aren't in the best financial situation. Some people aren't in the best mental situation. So it's a privilege to be here and to be united by people with good energy.
Yeah.
Sure.
What is something like, because in my perspective, in my journey, I mean, like talking about God and being raised on God, because I remember we used to go to church.
Oh yeah, man.
When we were kids.
Story,
I used to go to church when I was a kid.
Yeah, man, we did.
And I'm gonna give y'all a quick anecdote. I remember I didn't know how to talk Spanish really much, really good. And I remember one time we was in the car. His dad was taking us from church, and he was like, "Oh, why doesn't your brother like this kid or something like that?" And he's like, and I said, "Oh, porque él le jode mucho." And he hit me. He was like, "Yo, you don't say that." and he's like, the word is molestar. You know what I'm saying? But in a Honduran household, I can't hold it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think of it as like.
Different countries will have like their different meanings,
Yeah, but the basis of that is like growing up and learning about God. You obviously know the rights and wrongs. I know that I'm not supposed to be getting drunk off the wine. I'm not supposed to be fornicating before marriage and shit like that. But obviously we still do.
Us as humans, we are like men, especially. I do think we are carnal creatures.
Yeah.
Like we feast off like what our visions. You see a hot girl, you're like,
Beautiful
dang,
woman.
already your mind's already like
going
off, and I feel like God every day is trying to teach us something. And as far as like us going to church, me going to church, man, I've been in church since I was like 3 years old.
You go to Catholic or Christian?
I was raised Christian, and now am I the most religious person? No, I'm not. I still go out, I still have fun, I still have a drink or two with my friends. There's nothing wrong with that. But when the Bible says you're not supposed to get drunk off wine, it means basically don't toxicate, because when we drink, we're putting poison in our body. That's essentially what we're doing. Yeah. So your body itself is being damaged by the toxins you're putting in.
Mhm.
So that's what that basically means. But obviously, that's on extreme levels. Like if you're an alcoholic,
Yeah.
if you're an alcoholic, please click on the link below. Alcoholics Anonymous, you're good. We're there to help you out. But basically, you know, everything in excess is not good for you.
Yeah.
Even the gym should not be going to the
You gotta be
gym.
balanced with everything.
Balance. It's a balance thing. You know, like going to the gym every day was when I was going through some things mentally. Like I would go to the gym like every
day.
single day, twice a day, 6-7 hours a day. Just
So it was like an escape,
it was an escape,
which is bad.
which is bad because why? Because you're not working on the issue. You're not really getting to the point of, hey, sit down, think, why are you feeling like this? So what happens is a lot of people, you know, the endorphins that are released when you're at the gym, a lot of people get addicted to that. And so like, oh, like if I'm here every day, I'm not thinking about my issue. I'm not thinking about my problems. I'm just here lifting weights, which one, it's a good therapy,
Yeah.
but you also have to work on your mental. You also have to like break down what it is that is causing you to not deal with those problems, you know? And going to therapy, man, that's a big one. This month I was letting.
You went to therapy,
Oh yeah, man, I go to therapy. Oh, dude, it honestly, man, like
and you feel like it's done like.
it's done wonders for my mental health overall. I didn't think
Wow.
mental health was an important aspect because I believe that, like, at one point that health is just looking good and nothing else.
So I got a question. How can a therapist really help you, like, with
Well-
anything that's going on in your life? How can they relate, you know? How could they give you advice or teach you, you know?
For sure. So one is finding the right therapist, is finding the right person that you feel connected to.
Mhm.
You don't have to, the first therapist that you get, you don't have to stick with them if you don't feel a connection. It's a
Yeah.
person. But what's the difference? That person has studied how humans behave and how humans act and how humans react and why they do certain things or why they have certain patterns. So if you go to a therapist and you're dealing with, you know, for example, I don't know, childhood trauma that you don't realize, or there's people that like, they don't want to have kids. And it's like, why don't you like kids? Like, I love kids, you know, like I don't have any of my own, but like one day I would like to have a family. I would like to have kids. But some people you ask them like, oh no, I never have kids. But when you dive deeper into that, man, maybe that person was treated really poorly as a kid. And, you know, that idea is engraved in their head and their subconscious. And they don't know it, but they like, hey, I don't even want to put another child through the same thing. But you don't have to. You can break that.
Break that
you know?
cycle.
Your dad wasn't faithful to your mom or anything like that. Like, you know, in the back of your head, like, man, like, I don't want to hurt this person I love and care about. So a lot of people deal with commitment issues. You know, and you don't realize it because you're just living your life. But a therapist goes, why? And then, like, they dive deeper and deeper, and then, man, like, tu solo, like,
They make you think.
They make you think about what it is that you're really going through, and big time, man. If I could advise anyone that's never been to therapy, honestly, like,
Go.
What are the steps to get a therapist? Like, do you got to sign up for healthcare? Do you have
if
to,
you have healthcare through your job or just through healthcare in general, you can go to your insurance's website and they'll give you like certain numbers and places that they will accept your insurance.
Yeah.
My job, I work for T-Mobile corporate, and they pay basically like 80% of the session, so it comes up to like maybe $10 a session. So
What?
Yeah, it's really not that
Wow.
much. Yeah, it's really not that much, and you know, it has helped mentally, like
Yeah.
your mental growth, because again, health is not just about physical. Health is here,
For sure.
and this month is November, which is Men's Mental Health Awareness.
Just men.
It's men's. This
Okay.
month is men's. Give us a month at least.
Give us
Give us
give us
1
a
month.
fucking month.
Just one. No, but everyone's mental health is important. But yeah, this month is.
It's all about us.
Right now, this is about us. So let us have this. But I think it's important that we support one another. You know, a lot of us didn't get that growing up. You know, like I was telling you guys.
I got another question. So what would you recommend or advise to a young guy that's going through a mental health crisis?
Who may not have like life insurance.
Who
to,
may
like,
not have that? Honestly, man.
Therapy can be pretty expensive.
Yeah, like I said, like it really does depend. One thing I can recommend is you do have at least one trusting friend, a brother, an uncle, a best friend, somebody that you can go to and talk about it. A lot of guys won't do that because, the cliche of like, oh, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
Oh, man up,
Nigga crying.
yeah, what are you crying about?
Yeah.
Everything's fine, you're good,
Yeah.
it's not about that, man. It's
Yeah.
about caring for that person that supposedly you do care about and trying to find, hey, man, how can we help? How can we resolve
The fact that the person even coming to you, like
the fact that person
yeah.
is trusting you to like, hey, man, like
Going through
SOS,
this,
man, I'm going through this, like I'm going through, I don't know, I'm going through financial issues, I'm going through a breakup, I'm going through problems at home, health problems, and if that person is, trusting you to like tell me, hey, man, everything's gonna be good, just support. You don't have to be a therapist to give your friend more
Just
support.
listen
Give him a
sometimes.
hug, man. There's nothing wrong with like giving your brother some love, man.
There's a lot of younger kids that don't have a lot of friends, don't have a lot of people to talk to. What would they do in that instance?
So honestly, like if you're a kid and you don't have financial means, obviously because you're a kid.
Or friends, a lot of these kids are growing up playing video games all the time. So
yeah, they don't even know how to interact sometimes.
They want that, they want a mental escape from what they're going through. To be honest with you, man, like obviously I can't reach.
I feel like that's what video games is. A mental
yeah, it's
escape.
just escape.
Yeah.
We have a lot of escapes, man. Drinking is an escape. Smoking is an escape. Women are an escape. And we don't really tackle that. So what do I suggest for people that feel like they don't have anyone? I feel like we shouldn't wait on a miracle for them. I think we should try to be the miracle. And hey, man, like I said, my link's at the bottom. If you guys are going through mental health problems or want to talk to somebody, I will leave my information down there. And if you guys want to talk to somebody, please, like honestly,
I got another question. What is causing a lot of mental health within men? Within men,
wow. I think big time for a lot of men, a lot of men's suicide. You guys don't know this. A lot of it is due to women.
Women,
a lot
really?
of men commit suicide because they lost a partner or because they lost, even a loved one. But a lot of it is through, a lot of it is through breakup. I had a friend, which obviously I'm not going to name. Let's call him TJ. And TJ went through a bad breakup of somebody who was a divorce, actually. And he went absolutely off the rails, nuts, and stopped taking some of his medicines and just going, and to the point where he was trying to commit suicide. And I've never really experienced a close friend of mine tell me, hey, man, I want to kill myself. Like, honestly, kill myself. And
that's crazy.
Yeah, and it was because the girl obviously didn't want him back, he didn't want him in his life, so like, he,
Did he, well, I mean, no one really knows why a woman doesn't want you back, because they're not really going to tell you 100%. But did he give you like an insight, like, yo, what she said because of this, or?
Well, he did something,
Did he cheat on her?
He didn't cheat on her. He left her for somebody else he had met through his job.
Look, man.
Yeah, and he
still mental health.
Doing crazy stuff. He called me one day from a
payphone.
Not from a payphone. He called me from inside of the institute where he got arrested. He got the cops called on him, and he's like, "Yo, man, like." They want to like I think it's sorry if I don't know the paper Hyper Act?
Baker Act.
So they were gonna do it because he started like doing drugs and crazy. He crashed his car. He left the car. He bought a car that was extremely expensive out of his budget without a job because he quit his job. And then he left the car after a hit and run on the highway. And
he was just running down the highway.
he was just running crazy and. He's from Venezuela, and he went back to Venezuela, and like, bro, his family had to just be there completely for him. I tried to be there as much as I could for him, but eventually, that's it's a very delicate matter, and his family did get involved, but it was because of
fucking
woman.
nuts.
So,
yeah, and that woman's probably out at the wharf right now.
I don't know. I
don't know.
I have no idea where she's at. But I hope she's good, and she was very sweet. I do remember that. But hey, man, like, listen, we all learn from our mistakes. We all learn
from others' mistakes.
Yeah, man, from others' mistakes. You gotta take life as a teacher. Life is a teacher. Life teaches you lessons. If you let your past control you or the wrong decisions that you took that made you feel how you feel, and don't take it as a lesson, it'll forever remain a mistake. It'll forever remain an error, a fault. But if you take that and you turn it into a lesson, we learn from it and you grow from it. So I think he did that, and I'm very, very happy that he's okay. He looks a lot better.
Yeah.
He stopped going to the gym, but I see him now. And he's back in the gym. And
Probably met a woman over there.
maybe, man. I don't know. I think he's in Washington right now. I'm not too sure.
Shit, that's fucking nuts. Women, damn.
Yeah,
We'll
man.
drive a nigga insane, bro.
You're in a
Like,
relationship right now. Right?
we'll drive people insane, man. We don't got to disclose that to the public. What about you? You have a girlfriend, right?
I don't.
You don't?
No. I'm single. I just got out of a very, very, very long relationship.
Long? Oh, yeah? You were dating somebody for a while.
6.5 years.
6.5 years,
I was
yo.
dating for someone 6.5 years.
He was the guy that he was talking about in this story.
No, it wasn't me.
That's funny.
But yeah, man, I did get out of a.
No, that shit's real, yeah.
Yeah, and ups and downs. Being alone, you do get to analyze a lot of behaviors and a lot of mental habits. Been reading a lot of books on mental and like your health overall, and the environment that you put yourself in and the comfort levels that you gotta get out. We were just talking about getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And just either trying new things, learn new things, man. A lot of people break up and the first thing they want to do is just be
With somebody else.
Yeah,
And
I feel like that's lame.
Yeah,
Like,
we all make mistakes.
Rebounding.
yeah.
For sure, and sometimes we do it out of the desperation of like, oh my god, like I'm alone.
I gotta make
I gotta meet somebody else. I gotta have somebody there. But the truth of the matter is,
Clock is ticking.
you take that time, man, and you learn new things, man. Become a better person. Learn if you don't know how to dance, learn how to dance.
Yeah.
If you always like to paint but you didn't know how to paint, well, take a painting class.
Yeah.
If you want to read a book, read a book.
Read a fucking book,
You
yeah.
know?
So what were some of the things like that you were doing? Like just rediscovered of yourself or like something new about
Bro,
you
like
that
I learned that I was in probably the biggest. I felt very, very down at that point in my life when I was initially going through the breakup.
Yeah.
I felt very down. I didn't understand what my mind was going through at that time. Therapy helped a landslide of like reaching where I can now understand why I was processing things as I was. I was very comfortable. I had seen that I progressed so much from like, I guess the beginning of the relationship. So like where I was at, I felt fine and I didn't care for more. And that was my mistake. And I didn't know that was a mistake until I stepped out and I looked and I'm like, man, I want more from life. I want to be able to help my family. I want to be able to help my friends that need it. I want to be able to help people that need help in general, whether it's financial or mental or whatever. Like, you start to develop that part of your brain that unfortunately it wouldn't have been if
that top G turns on.
Yeah, and money, man.
Yeah.
Get your money up, start a business. I think one thing that the pandemic really taught us is that you're very
wishy-washy.
Like your job, your 9 to 5,
They can throw you away.
they will replace you.
Tomorrow.
They'll replace you tomorrow. But if you do something for yourself, that's your baby, that's your project, that's your business, like that's yours. Like you're gonna put your 100% heart into making it work, and it's for you. And you grow from it, and you grow, your business, and you feed your family and you feed yourself.
But you went and disappeared, but I got a bag. Yeah. I got a bag.